Hey guys, happy Tuesday, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all having a great week. Today's video is all about how to manage your time and actually really get the most out of your time and actually find time to actually do the things that you want to do, especially if you are working full-time, running your own business, trying to run a property business all at the same time. You know, you're gonna neglect some of the things that you actually want to do. So here are some tips to help you get into this. I've definitely been burnt out over the last kind of couple of years since I've been working full-time and in property. I've taken a step back, but then also I've ended up, creating a YouTube channel and Instagram content and things like that. So yeah, really just trying to kind of get the most out of your time and trying to figure out where you can actually spend the time and doing the things that you love. So let's get straight into it. So the first tip that I've learned from my coach is to actually schedule in me time, however long you want. I specifically said half an hour is me time, where I actually schedule it into my diary, whether it's before work or after work or even during lunchtime. And I literally say, here's half an hour scheduled for me. I can do whatever in it. If I want to read, I can go for a walk, I can go for a shower, I can go for a bath, I can literally just sit there, spend time with my family. But what is it that every day that is going to help me just be me and just focus that time in? So highly recommend that when you are planning your week is to schedule in half an hour me time, and that's a non-negotiable. Like, that is a non-negotiable. You have to schedule that in, and honestly it's made me so happy that I can actually do the things that I want. Yes, I have a busy schedule and I've got a million and one things going on and I have a massive social life as well, but like scheduling that me time to make sure that I'm focusing on myself and getting to where I want to be is massively helped. The second is actually just being conscious and aware of where you want to spend your time and how you are actually spending your time. Are you actually kind of working beyond your hours? What is your actual time limit? And just to kind of say, okay, what are you doing with your evenings if you are working full-time, or if you're running a business? Like, what are you actually doing with your actual time? Are you just being busy just to be busy, or are you just trying to kind of prove a point, for Instagram, that you're just like always busy? Because that's not healthy and it's not the lifestyle that you want to live. Trust me, I've done it before, where I've just been like, okay, I have so much free time, like what can I do to fill it, to just be busy? And you know what, it's just definitely not the life that you want to live. So yeah, just be conscious of like how you're spending your time and what you're doing with your time. The third point is, everyone's gonna love me for this, but it's distractions. I actually heard Dee speaking at an event that I went to, hosted by Aaron and Casista Properties, and he was literally talking about distractions and how you literally just put your phone on airplane mode or turn off all of yours. My phone is literally always on do not disturb. Like, when people call me, they're like, oh, why does your phone always go to voicemail? I'm like, because it's always on do not disturb. I literally turn all of like my notifications off during 9 to 5, and I'm like, no WhatsApp, no Instagram, no texting, no nothing. The only thing that I have is calls and Slack because of work. But yeah, most of the other things are like definitely off, and I just don't need them in my life at the moment, especially when I'm doing like busy work and I need like my full concentration. You can't really do two things at once, and you're not going to give 100% if you are trying to do two things at once. So yeah, just try to kind of limit your phone time, or like any distractions around. Like, try not to watch TV while you're working, or try not to like do anything. The only thing that I probably do is like listen to like soft jazz music in the background, but it's actually helping me concentrate so I can't hear like outside noise, and I need a bit of background noise so I don't get distracted from like other noises. But that's just my personal take. But like, definitely not a TV or like where I can easily be distracted. So yeah, put your phone on airplane mode when you are actually doing work. The fourth thing is working smarter. Like, I know it's easier said than done, and everyone's like, oh, you still have to work hard, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't work hard. Like, you definitely have to work hard, but it's working harder at things that you're actually going to make a difference in life. So working smarter is trying to find out like, what automation tools can you use, what delegation tools can you use, or who can you delegate this to, what tasks can be made easier that are just not worth your time. Like, there's so many automation methods, you know, like Trello is like the biggest thing for me at the moment, where like I just get automatic notifications, so I don't have to think about my next activity, so that it just tells me straight away. The other things that I can think of, like, you know, in property, like a lot of it is outsourced. Like I use property sources to help me find deals, just because I just don't have the time and effort to put into it as 100% and not get the deals that I want. So I'd rather just delegate all of those tasks. I don't do any letting, delegate that, no need for that. I don't need to like be hand in hand with that and focusing on like tenants and all those stuff. Like I can just hand that off. So yeah, where you can delegate and where you can automate things, highly recommend. The fifth thing, and it kind of coincides kind of being conscious where you are, is like, what are you actually doing with your time? Like, are you noting down? And I know this is going to be a bit of a tedious task, but actually note down what you're doing with every single hour, whether it's your job, whether it's your business, whether it's your personal time. Like just note down what you are actually doing, and associated to that, like write down what your mood is and what you're actually doing and how you feel. Literally takes you a minute to do that, but I would literally set an alarm clock every hour. I know it's a bit much, but trust me, it will help you in the future. You only need to do it for a week, but literally just focus on like, okay, what are you doing every hour and how is it making you feel? Are you distracted? Like, oh, okay, I was, I don't know, writing an email, but I was also watching TV, but I was distracted and I don't feel like that great because I couldn't get this email out. Whereas like, you know, if I was like in deep concentration, no distractions, like I'd probably feel something else. So yeah, just write down where you are and, you know, what you're actually doing with your time, because that will help you figure out, okay, what can I do to eliminate that and get the best out of me, so I can reduce the time that I'm doing something without any distractions and then focusing my time on something better. And that leads me on to the next point, is like finding your ideal week. Like what do you actually want to do with your time? Like how much time do you want to spend doing activity? How much time do you want to spend with your family, your friends, doing activities that you love? For me, like going to the gym, going for a walk, playing netball, you know, going out with my friends and family and having a social life. Like how do I implement these without having it impact my work or my business? So yeah, what does your ideal life look like? How much time do you want to spend on each activity and what you actually love doing? And then that will lead you on to kind of setting realistic goals and figuring out how long it actually takes you. Everyone has 1,000,001 goals, but we can't actually focus on all of them. So what are your top, I don't know, 5 to 10 that you want to achieve, depending on how big or short they are, in terms of like timelines? Are they like in 5 years time, 10 years time, or are they in like the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Like what are your actual goals? And realistically, how much time do you actually need? You can't focus on every single goal, so pick like the top 5 or top 10 and just focus on those and like realistically finding out. There's a book that I highly recommend, and it's like the 12-week year, and I'll pop a link or something to it below on Amazon. I'm not getting charged for this, no, there's no like sponsorship or anything like that, but it basically teaches you how to like schedule your time and pick out the best times and focus on the activities that you choose and how to choose your activities. He also suggests that you spend like another 10% or 25% on an activity so that you can overschedule, because let's be honest, if you put a task is going to take you half an hour, is it really going to take you half an hour? It's going to take you 45 minutes, so you actually have that extra time to schedule in. And if it only takes you 20 minutes, you've got an extra 10 minutes to do whatever you want. So yeah, it's always a good thing to like overestimate the time. And lastly, if you are genuinely passionate about something, you will find the time to do it. I always find time to go to the gym. I always find time to go for a walk. I always find time to kind of do exercise and visit my friends. And I always make one excuse or the other to just try and do the things that I love to do and like where I actually enjoy spending my time. Yes, I have to do the business stuff. Yes, I have to obviously do my job, but you will find times where you're like, okay, I definitely want to do this. Like at the moment, I'm definitely in this traveling bug, and you guys know that if you've been following me. But yeah, definitely like if you want to do something, you'll definitely find time for it. And if that means sacrificing something else, like, you know, you just kind of know where your priorities lie. So yeah, you definitely don't want to get burnt out, but just make sure that you are prioritizing it and finding, you know, the best way that you can kind of get that. And if that means no social media, no WhatsApp, no texting, no anything, or not your phone, then so be it. There's plenty of time for your phone, plenty of time for Netflix and whatever else that you want. Just focus on you and where you want to spend your time. But if that really helps, please hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys next week. Have a great rest of the week.